Hi, today I want to give you a very simple formula for manifestation, and it's coded in one word that you're really familiar with. And that word is become. First, you have to be, and then whatever you want comes your way. Become. So if you would like more abundance in your life, you first have to be abundant, and then the resources, financial resources will come your way. If you want to be loved, that you have to first be love and be in love, and then the lover comes. If you want to be successful, then you have to feel successful, be it, and then the circumstances will line up to reflect in your reality your state of being. So your reality, what you call your life, always reflects your state of being. If you feel diminished, if you feel depressed, then guess what? There will be reasons created in the outer world to make you feel even more diminished, even more depressed. If you elevate yourself to feel empowered and to feel abundant and to feel successful and to feel limitless, then the circumstances will line up to support your state of being. So remember that life is always a reflective mirror of what you feel inside, on whom you are being in the moment. And if you want any change in the circumstance, of course, it's not new information. Look inside, change yourself, but change your state of being. Elevate your energy, change your mood, and there are a plethora of ways to do it, from physical exercise to listening to your favorite music, to going for a jog, to petting your favorite cat, to even watching a comedy that would make you laugh. Do something to be in a state of being which you want to be reflected in your outside world, and then sustain that state of being as long as possible. And as soon as you feel that you're back into trenches somewhere, gets weight out of your way, then build yourself back up into the state of being. And the longer you're capable of sustaining it, the faster the manifestations will occur. I'm not teaching you anything that I have not done myself or consistently do. One of my greatest manifestations where I manifested a Mercedes, and I'll tell you a story real briefly. Years ago, when the first Secret just came out, I watched like I don't know how many times. I probably memorized the whole movie, and I decided to put it into action. And I thought, all right, I need a car. I lived in LA in that time, and living in Los Angeles without a car is pretty difficult. So I wanted a Mercedes. I ordered the catalog, pictured the one that I want, and I thought, all right, I need to feel more what it's like. I went to the dealership and went for a test drive. And I told honestly salesperson, I said, I really want this car, but I can't afford it. And he goes like, no problem. If you want to test drive it even every day, no worries. Come as much as you want. So I think I went twice to test drive that car, and months go by, I still don't have the money. And then the end of the year, I get a phone call from him. And he says, well, if you ever were serious about getting the car, right now would be the best time because we have amazing discounts and incentives and you can get the best deal possible. And I said, all right, I'll come on Saturday. And I scheduled an appointment and I still don't have the money. And Friday night, I'm in complete turmoil. I went for a walk and I have a war going on inside my head because on one hand, my mind is screaming at me, you're out of your mind, what are you doing? You're going to create a financial hole for yourself. Why can't you be like normal people and get a car that you can afford, like some Honda? Why do you need to be a princess and get a freaking Mercedes? And it's like on and on and on and on. And on the other hand, I feel that, but I don't want any other car. And I should be able to get what I want. And it's okay for me to want things that I want. And I can get another car, but it would be settling for me. I feel like I'm settling for less than what I want. And I shouldn't be settling in my life for anything less than what I want. And I'm in this turmoil and I cannot find solution for the life of me about this because I'm planning to put the down payment on the car on a credit card. So, and I walk into a store, and there was a spiritual store at that time called Body Tree in LA. And I randomly grabbed first book that comes into my hands because I'm in this state of distress. I open it randomly at any page, and I have no idea what book it was, what author has written it to this day, but I proceed to read the story of the author wanting to go to Mexico with his girlfriend or her girlfriend, I don't know, and not having the money to do so. And doing everything that their spiritual guru taught him or her to manifest the money, and having a reservation with the travel agent for the ticket. And the money does not manifest. And finally the day comes, the travel agent calls and says, well, you have to come and pay for the ticket today, otherwise the reservation is going to expire. So, and the author says, all right, I'm on the way. To the travel agent says I'm coming, but there is still no money. And I decided maybe I'll stop at my mom's house, tell her the story of how this trip to Mexico is out there and my girlfriend's parents are paying for it. Maybe she'll offer to pay for my ticket. Does that, stops at the house, talks to mom, but mom doesn't offer to pay for the ticket. And he goes like, all right, God, I've done the best I could. Now it's your turn. Oh, well. So, and on the way out, mom goes, can you please, darling, bring the mail from the mailbox? And he says, sure. Goes to the mailbox, grabs the pile of mail, and on the way back into the house, just kind of automatically looks through the envelopes and sees one envelope with his name on it. And goes, wow, that's interesting. I haven't received mail at this address, at my mom's address, for the last 10 years. Opens the envelope. Turns out there is a letter from his college roommate, which says that he got married, or she got married, and sold all of the furniture that they bought together back when they were in college days, and didn't feel it would be fair to keep all the money for the furniture because they bought it together. And here's the check enclosed for half of the proceeds. And there was exact amount that was needed for the ticket. So the money was manifested. He ended up going to Mexico. And I read this story as a powerful confirmation, like, do what you feel is right. So I get out of that store with firm decision that I'm going to get my Mercedes in the morning. And I call my girlfriend and I say, well, I'm getting a Mercedes tomorrow and I'm not sure if it's going to come with gas or not, but in case it doesn't, can you lend me $100 to fill it up for gas? And she says, excuse me, you are getting a Mercedes, you don't have the money for gas? And I said, yes. She goes, are you all right? I said, yes. She said, that sounds crazy to me, but all right, if you need it, I'll lend you $100. So this just tells you it was real. I didn't have the money for that Mercedes, nor I had the money for the gas for it. So I go in the morning, put $1,000 down payment on my credit card, get a car. It comes with a tank full of gas, and it also comes with the registration paid, something I didn't even factor in, which is for a Mercedes in California, it's another $500. So, and it's Saturday. On Monday, I go back to my, at the time, full-time job. I'm going back to the office, and my boss calls me into his room and into his office, and he says, here's the check. And my employer delayed salary for me, not fully, but partially. They delayed salary for the last few months because it was startup and we were waiting for investors' money to come in. So they were not paying me full salary and they owed me like $3,000. So he hands me a check for $3,000 that they owed. He said, here you go. Thank you so much for being patient. I want you to know we really appreciate you. By the way, how much do we currently pay you? And I tell him what my salary is, because of course there are many employees, he doesn't remember everybody's salary. And he says, all right, why don't we start paying you this much? And he gives me a raise pretty much $20 short for the amount of my monthly payment of my Mercedes. So 2 days later, literally universe paid for my Mercedes because I got the chunk of money to pay off my credit card, and I got a raise for the amount of my monthly payment. And the first time in my life I got the raise I didn't even ask for. And basically universe paid for my Mercedes for the next 3 years or however long my lease was. So, but to manifest that, it took tremendous amount of faith to do that. And guts to go against all the logic and against all the odds. So sometimes the greatest accomplishments and people who are really successful, and I had the privilege of working with amazing, legendary people, and I feel very honored to be of support to them. And when I hear their stories, their success is always part of this kind of extraordinary equation where they take leap of faith beyond logic and they just do it. Right? That's why maybe so many people resonate with the slogan of Nike, just do it, because somewhere we know that that's what it takes. You just have to do it. And then all of the circumstances will fall into place and the way will pave itself, but you have to make that first step, and you have to make the next step, and you have to trust that if you're sincere in your intentions, that things will line up for you. First you have to be, then it comes. I hope that's helpful. If so, share with others, subscribe to the channel, and remember, I'm here to support you. If should you have questions, reach out, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.